Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXD Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So the Holloway Pro Classic comes up tomorrow, the 19th of July, and I'm telling you, there are some clashes that I'm looking forward to seeing. And one such clash is in the men's 200 meters because on one hand, we have a youngster, just 20, but he's been around for so many years in the 200-meter game from America, Erriyon. And on the other hand, we also have another 20-year-old, this time from Jamaica, up and coming, Bryan that lines up in the 200 meters. I'm here for this absolute exciting race, trackies, but they're not the only ones in the race. I'm just going to go over who is in the lineup and, of course, how I think this race will potentially shake up. And as I said, I'm absolutely here for it. So in the lineup, as I said, Erriyon from the United States of America and Bryan from Jamaica, as well as Josephus Laz and Robert Gregory from the United States. We have Ashani Smith, Javari Thomas, and Javon Powell from Jamaica. Jaden Wiley, Jeremiah Curry running out the field for the United States of America. So those are the athletes that line up. That's a total 9. So I'm assuming that this is a 9-lane track. So with that being said, trackies, as I said, I'm absolutely looking forward to this men's 200 meters because on one hand, we have two 20-year-olds that right now, right, are doing it big in the men's 200 meters. On one hand, you have one that has been around for a while, as I said, Erriyon, and Bryan really just coming into his, own at this particular point and, dipping below 20 seconds for the first time this season, right? So that being said, we have an Erriyon so far this season with a 19.77 seconds, clocking his fastest so far this season, though he has a personal best of 19.49. Now, understandably so, he's had a few setbacks. He consumed some beef, trackies, and we all know that beef story. So it seems as though, he didn't get to, have a full season per se, and as such, has only ran, given his caliber, at 19.77 so far this season, but still very, very fast, right? And then we have Bryan. He's gone 19.97 so far this season. I believe that he'll be, the biggest competition to an Erriyon. As it relates to the other athletes in this lineup, trackies, all of them have not dipped below 20 seconds so far this season. The closest one to that sub 20 is Robert Gregory with his 20.08 so far this season. But for the most part, the times are in and around, mid 20 point seconds, clock-ins. I would say that. So given, the times done by these athletes, I don't, foresee them challenging the likes of an Erriyon or a Bryan. Though I have to say, personally, I am looking forward to see what Javari Thomas does in this race. He's clocked a 20.32 so far this season, and he's been having a great season going from strength to strength, personal best to personal best over the 100 meters and the 200 meters. So I'm excited to see if he's able to, carry on from that. And most of these runs were also done locally, right? So you know what they say about the tracks in America. So we may get, even faster performances from him now that he's, running elsewhere. But as I said, Javari Thomas, for me, I'm looking out for him. But I do not believe there'll be anybody in this race that is going to challenge the likes of an Erriyon or a Bryan. So clearly, I'm looking at Bryan and Erriyon for the top two, positions. What I'm interested to see, considering that we're only, a few, I would say 16 days or so roughly away from the Olympic Games, my assumption is the athletes are starting to, wind down, right, or taper off. So we should be seeing performances that are quite similar to what we're expecting to see, at the Paris Olympic Games. I do expect it to be slightly better, clearly, once we get to the Olympic Games, but at least we have a rough idea of what they'll be coming with. And I'm potentially looking to see if we can get another sub 20 from a Bryan in this particular race and how much faster he will be able to go. And can he challenge the likes of an Erriyon? Because as far as I'm concerned, right now, clearly Erriyon is not at his best. His best is 19.49, right? But even at his best, his personal best over the 100 meters is a 10.04, while Bryan right now has a personal best of a 9.98, which tells you that even though Bryan does not have the best bend, my assumption is he should come off the bend ahead of an Erriyon, right? At least that is my hope. We all know the stronger part of his race is the end, the last 50. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes off the bend first, and of course, who has the stronger final 50, right? So I'm not going to tell you no lie track is, me kind of want to give Bryan the edge, even knowing what an Erriyon is capable of. I am giving Bryan Level in my biased Jamaican state right now that I'm in the edge in this race, and I'm hoping that we get another personal best out of him in this men's 200 meters. Clearly, he has talked already that his bend is not the best, so my assumption is that they're working on it, right? And this is the perfect race to, match up against an athlete that you'll be facing off in Paris against as well, right? So if he can come off the bend ahead using that 9.98 speed and then also have a, great final 50, definitely I could potentially see him felling an Aaron Knighton. But to be fair, even though I want to give Bryan Level the edge, Aaron Knighton is clearly a really superior athlete in the men's 200 meters. So him winning for me would absolutely be no surprise. Though, as I said, I'm going with my man. I'm going with our Jamaican Bryan Level in this particular race, right? So of course, I know y'all are going to let me know your thoughts in the comment section, how wild I am or how crazy I am, to select a Bryan Level over an Erriyon 19. But who cares? I'm going to say what I want to say. And Bryan Level is the man for me in this particular race. There's also another race that's coming up that's quite interesting, and that's the men's 100 meters. So in the start list, we have Josephus Fambalea. We have Trayvon Bromell, PJ Austin, Kyrie King, Sandra Davison, Julian Fort, Benjamin Azamati, Emmanuel Matadi, Brandon Hicklin, Wanya McCoy, Nigel Ellis, Zacchaeus Baird, and also Recoy Brackwith. Now, considering how many athletes I just reeled off, clearly this should be into two heats. My assumption, I'm hoping again that the seedings have the best athletes together. What's interesting is that only, a couple athletes in this list have dipped below 10 seconds so far this season. Though based on personal best and caliber, you have a likes of a Trayvon Bromell that has got 9.76 so far in his career, right? So with that being said, trackies, this men's 100 meters is going to be quite interesting because I'm looking out for the likes of a Sandra Davison in this particular race and also a Julian Fort. Now, Julian Fort unfortunately didn't really live up to expectations. Well, not really. He didn't live up to expectations. Let's call a spade at the national championships, really, because there's a lot of expectations for him and it didn't, materialize. He didn't make it to the finals. However, Sandra Davison made it to the finals, right? Though his fastest time came in the semifinal, that 10-second clock in, right? So, given the type of trajectory I see a Davison on, I'm expecting a great run from him. I'm hoping that we can get a great run from Julian Fort. But the Americans are also there. The Kyrie Kings are there, and the Brandon Hicklins are there, plus the PJ Austins. These are the athletes that are in the best shape, in my opinion, from an American perspective. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race shakes up. I'm hoping that from a Jamaican perspective, we can have, Sandra Davis and Julian Fort up there in the top three placings. Hopefully, we can have one of them walk away with a win. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, because as I said, Brandon Hicklin, has gone 9.94 so far this season, and PJ Austin as well as Kyrie King. Kyrie King 9.97, PJ Austin 10.02. He's just coming off a win as well, PJ Austin. So right now he's a very confident young man. So I'm interested and intrigued to see how this race will pan out. I'm not sleeping on any of the collegiates that are in this race, because there are a lot of collegiates that are in this race, or at least former collegiates in this race, as well as Joseph Fambalea and also Trayvon Bromell. Though he is not anywhere close to his best and is also coming off an injury, it's going to be interesting to see what he does in this race. But as I said, I'm hoping that our Jamaicans can be in the top placings, and that is true because we do have three Jamaicans here. But I'm really looking out to see what Sandra Davison and Julian Fort does in this men's 100 meters. All right, so trackies, that is it for the sprint events that I'm looking forward to tomorrow at the Holloway Pro Classic. So look out for that. I'll definitely be covering that with the results. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.